guys, this is On Blast.
Hi.
I'm Jamie.
I'm Justin.
And we're just two people here to talk about stuff that we
think we're funny enough to please your ears is what we're saying.
Right.
And we are opinionated people that like to talk about opinionated things, I guess you would say.
Right. Yeah, we're pretty opinionated.
We're going to talk about Shane Dawson because he's going to give us the most clout. And then Liam Neeson because he also has kind of clout, I guess.
Yeah, kind of like the
he's pretty
clout.
old, so he's like kind of like old people clout, so maybe old people will listen.
I mean, he's pretty old, but because he started his career so late,
this is true.
It fits for the younger generation.
I guess. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be talking about Trisha and Dave.
Paytas. Is it Paytas or Payatis or
Payatis?
I've heard some people say it wrong.
Payatis.
I've heard some people say like Piatis.
I think it's Trisha Paytas. I think it's Paytas.
Okay.
And then David Dobrik, which I don't watch either of those people, so I don't really know anything about them. And then Shane Dawson's my bae.
Right.
I'd fuck him up. But
I'm kind of the opposite. Like, I love Shane, but I wouldn't say that I'm, like, his number one fan because I haven't watched him from the start. I've watched him from,
I haven't watched him from the start either. I didn't start watching him until it was a little bit before he did his documentary with his dad. I maybe started watching him maybe 5 months before that.
Oh, okay.
And I wasn't like, because growing up, I wasn't into like the kind of humor he used to do, like those like stupid racy skits. Like I wasn't really into those.
Yeah, me
So
either.
I never watched them. And I didn't start watching, when I started watching, he was doing like food stuff. He was doing like mukbangs and stuff like that. And so it was just like innocent content that was just fun to watch while you were like sitting doing something in the background.
I watched his content that a lot of people didn't like when he did, I forgot.
Is it the Shania one?
It was the Shania one. And you know what? That's probably what he would consider his worst time.
Right.
But that was like the only time that I would really watch him besides this year with his new stuff. If we haven't said, this is On Blast.
I think we did say that.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah.
I was just thinking in the back of my head, like, I have a feeling that we might have not said what
This is the first podcast we've done, so we're awkward. So
right. This is our first one, so we're going to be all over the place. But, so to kind of start off, I don't know. I'm starting to get into Twitter. I'm only on Twitter just a short amount of time. But when I am on Twitter, I try to like follow like YouTubers and stuff like that. But Shane was recently freaking out because he delayed the second part of his YouTube series for conspiracy theories. And there was a lot of people that were just giving him shit for it. Like saying, if you're not going to be able to schedule on time, don't give us a time for it. And then there was people that were like, it's free. Like, he really shouldn't have to tell you. But I was curious what you thought about that.
I mean, Shane's bae, so of course, I don't necessarily... Okay, Shane comes from a generation of YouTube where, like, content was not scheduled. Like, he was, like, one of the originals. He was around when, like, Fred was a thing. And, like...
Oh, God, yeah.
There's people alive right now that don't even know who Fred is because they're too young, okay? So he's been around...
He's still on YouTube, kicking it.
But nobody watches him.
Right.
But, so, like, he comes from a time where, like, schedules weren't important. And then also, you have to think about it like this. In Hollywood, because he's making Hollywood-worthy productions, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, in Hollywood, do you know how many times films are pushed back until they actually get released? That's a really, really common occurrence for, like, a film to be supposed to be released around the end of a year, and then it doesn't get released until the beginning of the next year or something like that. That happens a lot.
Right.
So I think people should shut the fuck up. It's free content. Get off your fucking high horse. Nobody cares about you and your stupid fucking Twitter comment.
Everybody was like, you're so entitled. Like, they were so... It was a lot of positive. It wasn't like in a situation where, there's all these negative people. Honestly, if we're talking about a ratio of 10 people in a room, there's maybe 8 people with positive remarks. But those 2, I mean, it doesn't help.
The most negative things typically are the loudest. Like, the worst people are the loudest people, you know?
And Shane.
Yeah.
So, like, he's probably going to take it personally because it's
Shane's a sensitive little baby.
Yeah.
And I love him.
I don't feel the same way. I feel like this is free content.
Uh-huh.
I'm so happy that he came out with this.
Uh-huh.
And I support Shane. But I will tell Shane that I don't think he realized how cool he is. I don't think he realized how great he really is,
right.
and how a lot of people are tuned in to what he's doing. He's breaking a lot of records. And my opinion would be that let this be a lesson. You probably shouldn't put dates. I'm not trying to be on their side. And I would never tell him that because
right.
I want it to be good. If he needs to take 5 more years to make it good. But it's fine. What I would really tell him is, because you might have some new information, I would just, like, try your best to make it perfect and don't tell people a date. Or give them a month, like, coming up in the beginning of the year, because now you got people saying some ridiculous stuff. Like, if you're going to make dates, they're, like, 80% wrong. That 20% of me is, I agree. There's a lot of people tuning. You know, there's people, and he was like crying about it the other day. Like, it was a good cry.
Oh.
He was so happy. There was people scheduling a movie night to watch
it.
That's
and there's
so
cute.
There's like 20 people in the room, and he's like, and I always, you know, that's a dream for
right.
a group of people wanted to see. And all I could think of, I know this is negative, and I'm trying to play devil's advocate. Can you imagine 20 people back in that room with the rating? And he texts it, and he tweets, and he's like, yeah, this is gonna be another couple of days. They'd be like, I canceled my dentist appointment.
So, like, this is kind of funny because I don't use Twitter at all.
Yeah.
Like, at all. I am not really into social media. I have a Facebook. The only thing I use for Facebook, though, is just to, like, message my friends. Essentially you. You're my only friend.
Right.
So,
just to message me.
Just to message you. And then, like, sometimes I'll look at, like, some trashy memes, and that's about it. But when the Shane Dawson thing was coming out, I, like, woke up that day, and I looked at my phone. I'm like, oh, it's not out yet. Waited a few hours. Looked at my phone, and I was like, it's not out yet.
Because they're in California, so you think that it's...
Right.
Because we're in Ohio, in case you guys don't know. But it doesn't matter. You don't care.
But yeah, so I was like... And then I, like... Because I don't use Twitter, I was like, let me go on Twitter. So I had to download Twitter just to go check to see
just to see what he says. Just like, you know what?
And like, he was like, it's going to be out late tonight. I'm sorry, guys. I'm like, okay.
I can imagine you having that profile picture of, like, the egg when you first start the profile. Yeah.
But so I remember the minute it came out, I was like, okay, let's go make dinner. And I sat there and ate dinner while we watched Shane Dawson, because queen.
Right. But that's what I mean.
Right.
He doesn't realize, like, he's not just a short video you watch
right.
in the between your dentist appointment.
Right.
Let's bring that back up. But he's really making some cinematic choices. Right. You know, him and Andrew. I don't want to not put Andrew.
She has a crush on Andrew.
Right. And what is it? Swisky? Swisky. I don't know his last name. Like Swisky or something like that. Swisky. I don't.
You're like one step away from saying swastika.
Oh yeah, I was pretty close to that. Let me stop. But yeah, he's pretty hot. But like, I get why you shouldn't be mad. You're such a loser. If you're mad about, you need to figure out something else to do.
Like, you could be disappointed, but like, he said it, like, he told us preemptively, like, not the day of, right? Is that like what happened? Or was it like the day of where he said it was going back, or?
Well, the first time he did it, this is what makes it, I guess, intensifying. But like, the first time when he came out with it, he was saying that he was going to come out with it on this day. And people were upset because it didn't come out, like, right in the morning.
Right.
It came out at 6 o'clock for us, so that means 3 o'clock for them.
Right.
So, or maybe it came out around 7. It was a tiny bit late, but he was mad because he was like, I did say that it was going to come out on this day. I did not give a time. So then people started to chill out. But when he came out with the second part and was like, it's going to be a couple more days, that's when a lot of people were like,
Okay, guys, I have a conspiracy now. I got a conspiracy about Shane's conspiracy. What if he is... Because, like, his Jake Paul documentary got, like, a lot of hype.
Yeah.
Like, lots of people were talking about it. But, like, this new one... I don't know, like, I don't hear as many people talking about just, like, because I watch a lot of commentary YouTubers, and I don't hear a lot of people, like, being super uber hyped. What if he's like, this isn't as hyped as I need it to be, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create some controversy and delay it. And then, like, now people are talking about it now, because, like, we're sitting here talking about how Shane Dawson hasn't released his new video that we're essentially promoting, because I'm sitting here talking about how much I love Shane and how I can't wait for his video to come out. And then people that listen to us are, well, I mean, not like anybody's listening to us, but regardless, people that listen to us are going to be like, oh, let me watch Shane's video to see what these people are talking about, you know?
In thinking about it, like to support that, and also, like, I think that a lot of content does better when you give it more time. I would have probably told Shane, how about you wait a little longer? Like, I know a lot of people are going to hate me saying that, but I think if you wait a little bit longer, everybody's like, come on, they're like waiting and craving. So even if it is a conspiracy, I think it's an overall good idea for him to just wait, because it makes you want to actually watch it again.
I love his conspiracy videos. Sometimes when I can't find good things to watch on YouTube, I'll go to his conspiracy video playlist and just watch it. Even though I've seen those videos like 100 times. Really? Like all of them. I've seen all of them multiple times. Like I can recognize the thumbnail and tell you what conspiracy he talks about in those videos just based off the thumbnail. Because I've seen them so many times.
Right.
But yeah.
That's me with David Dobrik's vlogs. I could probably look at the thumbnail and be like, I know what this is. I know who had paintballs all over their body. But in general, I'm more of a lifestyle person, so I favor his content when he has like Garrett and Morgan and Riley.
I love Garrett. I would marry Garrett. Like if Garrett and I ever met and he was attracted to me, well, I'm actually already married, but we're not talking about this. But if I ever met Garrett and like, I'm sure my wife would be okay with it. I don't know how Garrett would feel, but I'm sure my wife would be okay with marrying Garrett too. Garrett is like my spirit animal. I am so much like Garrett. We're even in the same Gryffindor, or not Gryffindor. We're even in the same Hogwarts house. We're both Hufflepuffs. I'm just like, I'm in love with Garrett.
Garrett is hilarious. Honestly, I mean,
the look that Shane gives you, I mean, the look that Shane gives Garrett is the same look you give me when I do stupid shit.
Right. You're totally a Garrett, and I'm totally a Shane at times. To kind of bridge over, so I don't
transition?
Huh?
You transition?
Yeah.
Into the next topic is what you're saying?
Into the next topic.
Okay, we're done talking about Garrett.
Right. We're trying to learn how to transition. This is our first podcast, so you guys can
it's going to be complete shit. It's okay.
Yeah.
But we're not even going to edit it. We're literally just going to like...
Right. Just release it. Just release the beginning. How do you stretch the image?
Yeah, we had a hard time figuring out how to use the mic and stuff, so...
Right. Man, I'm still having a hard time.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Liam Neeson.
Yeah, Liam Neeson. So, our famous line actor... And I will kill you.
I'll find you and I'll kill you. Yeah, that guy.
So,
when he said that the first time, I was really young when I know this is off topic, but I was really young when I watched it. Jamie!
Was that me?
I think so. Oh. Excuse me. I have to pick up a mess on the floor that Jamie just knocked over.
No, you can leave it on the floor.
Oh, okay.
I'll clean it later.
Anyways.
Like in a week. But, yeah, as we were talking, I went to grab my phone because I just wanted to get my facts straight about Liam Neeson. And I think I grabbed the cord and just half the table went on the ground. In case you guys are wondering. But go ahead. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
What was I saying? Fuck. I just forgot. Oh, yeah. The first time I ever watched that movie. And he had that, like, scene.
Yeah.
Like, it made me kind of, like, horny. Like, I was, like, 13.
Oh, my gosh. Why does this...
like, it's weird, because, like, I have a thing for older guys. I don't know why. I mean, I'm letting them know. But
right.
I was like 13, or I don't know. I had to have been older than 13. I don't know. But when the movie came out, I didn't watch it when it came out. I watched it, and I DVR'd it when I was a kid. But I watched it. I was like, oh, Liam, how are we doing? Like, I don't know. But anyways, that's off topic. I just wanted you guys to know that Liam Neeson made me wet when I was a kid.
Yeah. I'm trying to like talk, but also but I'm kind of shocked. But I'm not shocked at the same time. I'm
like, that's just
not.
me.
Not to be honest, that's just you. But yeah, we were talking about, we were watching, what is it, Gran Torino?
Oh my god, yes, Gran Torino. Clint Eastwood in that movie. Oh my god, I have never had such an old man crush in my life.
Part of me was joking because it was like, because he's a badass. He was hot. Yeah. I mean, I guess he's alive, so let's not like act like he's dead or anything. But I have more of an attraction to his son, which looks exactly like him, his youngest son. So I finally found the article because I just want to say exactly what he said that people are talking about. So I'm recording this to CNN. I think CNN is more of a liberal take. I think Fox is more of the right wing or whatever, but it doesn't matter. I just wanted anybody to know what I look up, but
that was a little petty, Jamie.
So Liam Neeson appeared on Good Morning America on Tuesday, and he was basically talking. He wanted to fix what he said in a previous interview. It was a press tour for his new movie Cold Pursuit. And he said that it was a dark comedy about revenge. But he started to talk about, like, his past life. Mm-hmm. And how he...
Like, his past life, like, what do you mean?
When he was younger.
Oh, okay.
How he felt
I thought you meant, like,
situation.
he remembered his life before he was born.
Did I tell you he believed the reincarnation? But he talked about, like, you know, what he did when he was younger. And he talks about this woman that he knew, comment by saying she handled a situation of a rape in the most extraordinary way. And he starts talking about how he felt when he had a friend tell him about this rape. He says, my immediate reaction was, did she know who he was or who did it? You know, what color were they? And she ended up telling him that it was a black guy. So he says, you know, in this interview for Black Pursuit, I went up and down areas with a crowbar hoping I'd be approached by somebody. I'm ashamed to say that, and I did it for maybe a week, hoping some, and then they put like this little like comment, Neeson gestured air quotes with his fingers according to the Independent. He said, hoping some black bastard would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, you know, so that I could kill him. So,
well, damn.
So, and it's aggressive. It's really aggressive. But a lot of people are talking about how he's racist for making this remark. And so, I know you guys can't, you know, see us, but I'm African American. I'm mixed. So,
I'm not.
I'm not. I'm like a little bit of Jew. Bit of Jew.
I'm a Jew. And
right.
I'm primarily Jewish and I think Irish and Native American. So I basically look white with my genetics. Because I'm Ozanasi Jew. Is that what it's?
Oskanowski.
It's okay.
Yeah. Jew. The main one.
The white looking one.
The white one. And to add a little bit into our opinion, you know, with this interview with Good Morning America, so the interview was first with a press tour, but he went back to Good Morning America to basically say, you know, like, hey, I'm not being racist or whatever. But also in the interview for the press release, he was talking about that it shocked me and it hurt me that I felt that way and I got help. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to add that onto there. My opinion, I don't think that this was a racist remark because we're talking about what word would you call someone who is of color, right? Mm-hmm. If that's a term that we want to use. So
I mean, when I grew up, I grew up in the ghetto.
Right.
I grew up lower class. I grew up as the only white looking person on the street, and I called black people,
right,
and black people called themselves black people.
Yeah,
and it's really more of like today using the word a black person isn't really okay. Now we say people of color and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And also, he was putting in air quotes, meaning that what he was saying that this is what I thought at the time.
Right.
That doesn't mean that's what he thinks now.
Right.
Because there's plenty of people out there that were racist and now aren't.
But it's not even a racist remark.
Right.
That's why it's not even... I don't know why people are putting attention to it. Because if someone's describing somebody and they said he was black, I'm not going to be like, you're racist. Well, what if you say he's African American? I don't know if anybody knows this, but Liam Neeson is Irish.
Right. And so he has a really good American accent.
Right. Right. I don't know if you know this. I hate to burst your bubbles, but... I don't know if he was in Ireland at the time. I don't know if he was in the UK. I don't know where he was. Even if he was from America, he still was born in a place that's not America. What people were like, okay, well, you're supposed to call somebody who's black African American, but you can't be African American if you're in the UK. If you're not
American, right?
You're just
a UK African, like,
or just. I mean, honestly, I'm not all about labels. So, like, if someone wants to talk about what they are, just say that, like, you're British. But if you're describing what somebody looks like at that time, and he's talking about how he made a stakeout looking for a specific person, then the only thing that he can probably say is either the words of color, which some people have a problem with that term already, right, or black. So, and then he says the word bastard. That is... The word bastard
is referring to the bastardly thing he did.
Right. It's referring to someone that most likely... I mean, I guess in technical terms, bastard means somebody that was married out... Or
was born out of wedlock.
Born out of wedlock. So, I mean, you could call a girl a bastard, but most of the time it's men that they call bastards. And it's supposed to be just a negative thing. Right. Something bad that they've done. So I'm just, like, reading this, and I'm like... Y'all are picking on the wrong man. Like, really, like, there is so many people, there's so many things going on right now, and you guys chose to talk about Liam Neeson calling somebody black. Like, whoa. Like, if that's racist, I'm gonna lose all my friends. Like, I'm like, I don't really know what to say, but I found it fascinating.
I feel like a lot of the time, though, when it comes to, like, our cultural climate, when it comes to being politically correct. Because I'm of the opinion is be politically correct as much as you possibly can. Yeah. Because it's respectful. Just to respect people. But in this culture, it's like you have to be politically correct or you're a Nazi. And like there's people, not that everybody feels that way, but there's people on the left, like on the far left. Because I'm a liberal. I mean, I wanted Bernie Sanders to win. I'm not like a Republican or anything, but people on the far left that are these minorities of crazy ass motherfuckers that scream these terrible things that are just hurting us. They're just hurting people, the cause of spreading, love and acceptance and all that kind of stuff. And it really kind of irks me to hear that kind of stuff because, like, the best way to show acceptance is to be accepting. Right. And to be like, you're a racist. Well, telling somebody that they're a racist, what they're going to do is they're going to put up their boundaries and defend themselves. They're not going to listen to what you're saying. They're not going to listen to the fact that what they said might have been kind of racist and they didn't mean it to be. They're not going to listen to that because you're accusing them of being a racist. So it's just like, it's not helping anybody, so shut up. Like, stop it.
And it kind of like goes around why... like if anybody wonders why people say this saying, this is a great example for why, and just in general with the world, but labeling can be really bad sometimes. Right. Like I understand people that are like, I don't want to be labeled. Like, I don't want people to identify me as being a certain race because I don't want to have those conversations with somebody who is either uneducated or overly educated about a certain issue.
I think labels are more important on an individual level.
How you feel about yourself,
right? Yes, yeah. You label yourself internally, but the outside has no right to label you as anything,
right?
Like, because I have labels for myself, right? Because I'm not like, I'm not like, just like, oh, I'm a white American. Like, no, I'm not. You know, and I'm sure you have labels for yourself. Even like generic labels like straight. Like, those labels help us understand the world, but certain labels don't need to be broadcasted. Like, nobody needs to know that you're straight. Nobody needs to know that I'm bi. Like, nobody needs to know that. I mean, we are free to say it if we want to.
Right, like, if you're in your cliques and you're having, like, you know, like, someone who is African American,
but you can't hide that. That's the problem. Right. That's the problem with people thinking that labels are so important.
There's certain labels that are labels, and people are sensitive when they talk about it. But then there's certain labels that are how you actually have to describe that person.
Right.
And it's hard. Like, you know, when you say someone who, like, if you look on, what are those called? Either like a job application or job applications say African American now, but used to be when you were in school, you'd have to fill out a little form, or your parents would, or what you were, and they would have Caucasian and Black / African American. So it's like, that's, I mean, I'm sorry, Black people, but that's our title. Like, you can't. That's not. It's not racist. You know, just like people are like, oh, well, our correct term is African American, but what if you're not American?
Right.
But Caucasian fits for every white person in the world.
It's kind of like queer. Queer used to be derogatory.
Right.
You know, queer used to be something that they would call people when they were beating them up. But, like, now queer is something that gay people, or just people under that umbrella in general, you know, like, that's their word. And so I think that what I see with, you know, the African American community and stuff like that is that they keep trying to find a new word because they don't want that word to be derogatory. Because, like, it used to be like, I don't like the term people of color because I think it sounds like colored people.
Right. And
colored people's derogatory.
Right.
You know?
My mom actually made a comment about this. I was actually really proud of her because my mom's not really into stuff like this. And
her mom is white, by the way.
Right, my mom's white. She doesn't like talking about a lot of racially based conversations because as a white woman having a Black child, there's a lot of judgment, and she doesn't like to feel guilty, I guess. I hate to say it that way, but that's kind of the truth.
Yeah.
But my mom was watching, I think it was called Red Tails, about one of the first African American groups in aviation back, I think, in World War I, maybe II. I didn't watch it. But she made a comment, and one of the characters said to someone who was Black and he was white, and he was like, you know, people of color. And he was like, we're people of color? You turn red when you're mad. And you turn blue when you're sick and cold.
Right.
And you turn purple when you can't breathe. And we're the people of color? Like, you got different shades.
Right.
And it was funny that he said that because it's like, you know, I just think we're at a point in time where you either can just own up. If you're African American, you're African American. If you feel confident and you feel more accepted and more of a category, then, like, as we talked about how personally, if you feel that way, great. But universally, what is our word?
Right.
I mean, I'd like to have a word. Do you want to say African? But they're not necessarily African. Would you call someone who's Black and British African? He might be like, I've never been to Africa.
What I think, honestly, I think it really doesn't matter.
Right, it doesn't matter.
Because, like, I don't go around saying...
It doesn't matter, like, to say it. I'm talking about in a situation... Like, for the police, when they ask you what somebody looks like and you say Caucasian, 5'9",
right,
looks like brown hair, brown eye, you say Black, a Black guy. So I'm talking about, in this situation, Liam Neeson is talking about what he was thinking at that time,
right,
and what he was looking for, and he was looking for a white guy if a Black guy is the one who raped the girl,
right?
He was looking for a Black guy, and he was mad at him, so he's a bastard, Black bastard. Like, there was nothing racist. He was describing what he was looking for. So that's why it's like, That's what I'm talking about. Labels are usually bad, but they're kind of necessary. Talking about not personally, they're kind of necessary when you're describing something.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Right.
I just think that
if he's an Italian-looking Mexican guy, you say he was Hispanic or Italian, dark hair. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's like, okay, if we're describing people in that way, like Italian, Hispanic-looking, when really they're not Italian or they're not from Mexico, they're Hispanic
like
looking.
you see an Asian person and they're like, oh, they're Chinese. It's like, no, they're Filipino. Like, the fuck.
Right, just keep it, keep Asian or Pacific Islander. You don't have to go in depth. So I think at this point, you can, I don't see why he was an African looking man. You could say that. That's not really racist.
Yeah.
But I don't think, and you need to understand, the people out there, what the difference is between being racist and the difference between describing a situation.
Right.
I'm not to say, oh God, what the fuck was that movie called? It's called Widow, I think, or Widowed. Liam Neeson, not that this validates it, but just to kind of get everybody so that they could be a little bit more knowledgeable. Do you know Viola Davis, the actress?
She played on like that kind of stuff.
How to Get Away with Murder, The Help. She played
I watched
Viola
The Help.
Davis. She played his wife. They had some intense love scenes. I'm not saying that. It doesn't matter because you're an actor, so I guess you could be racist. But I'm just saying, like,
but if you were
this is a guy that is so flexible with his artistic talent,
are able to like, if you're a racist person or like a homophobic person or somebody that's just like discriminatory in general, and part of your job is to have an intimate love scene with that person that you hate, odds are you're not gonna fucking do it. You're gonna be like, nah, I quit. Like,
I hate to say it that way, but in a weird way, I'm like, there's a difference between, and he wasn't even this. So this is like not talking about him, but to educate like the public, I guess. There's a difference between being prejudiced and being racist.
Right.
Prejudice is the concept and the idea that you have as like a social norm based on what that person looks like.
Right.
Racist is basically the hatred of that certain specific race. So if I'm walking on the street and a guy that's black with a black hoodie with a black outfit run towards me, I might piss myself. You know what I mean? And it's just it's a prejudicial thing. Anybody, no matter what race. If you running towards me, I'll probably piss myself. But as an example,
I love how you just piss yourself instead of run away.
I piss myself anyways, even if nobody was running. I'd find a way. But to kind of show you, that's different than like you don't want to sit next to a person of color because you feel uncomfortable.
Right.
I'd be like, why? You know what I mean? So this is a whole mess. I feel so bad for him. I really do. He's an old man. People need to leave him alone.
I feel like people are just like grabbing onto like anything that they consider racist. Like, I don't know, this might be controversial, but like when the H&M thing happened with the African kid in the green hoodie that said little monkey, I'm like, it's a cute hoodie. Like, they're not saying he's a monkey. It's like, oh, my little monkey. Like, people say that about their little boys. They call them little monkeys because they climb all over everything. They act like fucking monkeys.
Right.
And it's just like, I feel like people are looking too far into it. And being like, realizing like, the world's not black and white. There's many shades of gray.
In that situation, I agree. But I would still tell that person, there are things you do have to filter.
Right. Just filter just in case.
Right.
Because somebody's going to think that's offensive.
Right.
It's like, why do you have to think, I don't know, why does everybody have to find everything offensive when it's...
Like, if someone, which nobody would go in depth with this, but this is as an example. If you go over your grandma's house, let's say it's like you and me, we're going to your granny's, and she's cooking something in the oven, and she comes up to me and grabs my little cheeks, and she goes, "You're so cute. I could just put you in the oven and cook you right up." I'd be like... it would be weird. But at the same time, I would have been like, you know what? That's just grandma talk. Right. Now, if she said that to, like, a clan of Jews, they might be like... God. They'd be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's like...
a clan of Jews. What the fuck is a clan of Jews?
A clan, more than two, But just, kind of looking at, like... For everybody else, it's different. If you have a little girl, she's putting on a monkey outfit, you'd be like, my little monkey. There's no problem with that. Mm-hmm. Nobody would take that racistly because they're white. If they were black, then be like, oh, so now I'm a monkey. So it's just like...
Well, like, when I was a kid, like, I had black friends growing up. And, like, when I was a kid, moms would call their little boys monkeys. Even, like, 'cause, like I said, I grew up in a primarily black area.
Right.
And so it was like, I didn't see why it was such a big problem when, like, I knew so many people with the nickname Monkey.
Yeah.
You know, as, like, their actual, like, nickname, like, their mother would refer to them as Monkey.
Right,
and I'm just
right.
why is this a problem?
Yeah.
That's a little
I feel the same way, but at the same time, since I know the background, I can see why they think of it as a bad way. Because just imagine, like, an old senile man walk, fucking monkey! Then you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, you'd be like, oh my god! Like, so it's just... It just kind of depends on... Sorry, we're like looking back at each other. Like, I just screamed. Pretty sure I just woke up the neighbors. Like, it's not too late. It's like almost 9, but still, some neighbors sleep early. You know, it's depressing out here. Yeah.
Literally, this town that we're filming in or recording in is like the most hodank of hodank towns I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Pretty small.
Is hodank. I don't know. Okay, this is kind of an Ohioan term.
Yeah.
But the term hoopy, that's this.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of hoopies.
Yeah. But the difference between here and other places that we know that are like that is, like, out here it's super quiet. I mean, it makes sense because it's a small town, but I'm telling you, like, it's so quiet that, like, in the middle of the night, you got a cop pulling you over, like, why are you out? I'm like, why are you in my business? Like, I'm sorry that I'm fat and overweight and feel like I could get diabetes any minute because I keep going to Speedway in the middle of the night.
Stop going to Speedway in the middle of the night. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm getting a Slurpee. But, you know, yeah, people are way too much in your business in a lot of small towns.
But anyways, do you want to move on to the next subject? Because we're now rambling about something else.
Yeah.
The next is Dobrik and Trisha.
Dobrik? It's like we're in the
I don't.
It's like we're in court. Dobrik versus Trisha Paytas.
I don't watch Trisha, and I don't watch David Dobrik. Yeah, I've seen a few of David Dobrik videos. I think they're funny, but I've never really, like, been into it. Trisha, I don't, like, dislike her. I just don't like her content, and I think she's kind of annoying. And, like, but, like, I don't think there's anything, like, morally wrong with Trisha. Like, she might do things that are questionable, but everybody does things that are questionable.
I mean, I think there's some things that are morally wrong with Trisha.
But, I mean, we'll
talk about that.
I don't know Trisha that well. So, essentially, what happened was, I guess, so, if you haven't heard, Trisha broke up with her boyfriend. What's his name?
Jason Nash.
Nash. I don't know why I'm the one introducing this topic when I don't know anybody's name.
Right.
But
I'll like fill in. Right. And his name was.
And she broke up with her boyfriend, posted this video. I'm sure everybody saw it. It's re-uploaded on YouTube. And she's essentially dragging David, dragging her ex-boyfriend, dragging
a lot of people,
dragging her ex-boyfriend's ex-wife, dragging Brandon?
It was Brandon. I don't know his last name. It's Brandon.
Dragging Brandon. And what I found most interesting about the story was Brandon, but that was just a snippet of the actual video. But
it was a 19-minute video, and that was literally 30 seconds of it, and that was what everybody's talking about, I guess, at this point.
Because it's controversial. Right. So she essentially made a video dragging a bunch of people, and we're going to talk about her dragging people.
Post breakup. So this is basically, if you don't know Trisha, this is not the first time. Right. She came out, I think, last year with the same kind of vibe of, I'm mad at Jason, this is what Jason does, I'm tired of it, we're done, we're never seeing each other. And then a week later, if you guys watch the Vlog Squad, it was filmed that she was going to go see him in Boston.
I think, I don't know, that video, I think Trisha was genuinely crying in that video, but I think she was, not crying as, hyping up her crying. Because her crying just seemed a little weird. She would have, some really, solid, fluid moments being able to talk. And then, here and there. And I'm like, I don't know about you, but when I cry, I like cry, and you can't understand what I'm saying. Like, and so I don't know. It just. I'm not saying it wasn't genuine.
It's hard because it's post, so it's like you don't know exactly what she was doing before, and we don't. She could have shut off the camera and just fucking bawled her eyes out. So it's almost like you can probably.
Well, it wasn't heavily edited. I only remember like a cut, and that was when
Jason was calling.
Yeah,
and she cut it. Yeah.
But so essentially, she was mad about how there was, I guess, a joke that they play, saying that trying to get. What's his name?
Jason.
Jason Nash and Trisha and Tana Mojo,
right?
Mongoose, whatever her name is.
I don't think it's Mongoose.
it's a meme. It's a meme.
Yeah, like Tana Moja or something, whatever.
Getting her into a threesome. Now, as somebody who has problems with like cheating and being insecure about your body, like I completely understand like how like that wasn't okay to ever have that joke.
Yeah. So
like I feel for her.
Yeah.
And then like some of the stuff like I guess there was like a video of Jason and Tana like in a car in the middle of the night without her being there, and the joke was made again, and it was like it was kind of uncomfortable.
Basically, like, from my knowledge, there's about 3 or 4 vlogs that David has made that has brought the subject up. So this isn't something that was, like, a quick snippet. Like, the first vlog was, like, of, like, with Tana and Jason in the car. The second was of him making a comment to Jason and to Trisha about it, and Trisha's just pissed. The third one was another comment about it of them laying, on the ground or whatever. And then he puts a snippet of an old vlog of Jason saying that he would do it for a Ferrari. Like, if if David gave him a Ferrari, I would sleep with Tana, basically. Mm-hmm. I guess he said threesome, with him, but Trisha wouldn't want to do that. So I think that's what, Trisha was, I mean, From the video, you guys would have to watch it yourself. I think there's one out right now that's because she had deleted it. We watched one that was of someone that saved it, I guess, after she deleted it. They re-uploaded it. But you can definitely tell that there was a lot going on. She made comments basically saying that, like, Jason... she didn't say the word immature, but she was really making us feel like he's 45 years old and he's making comments that are immature. Right. And I'm a 30-year-old woman. Tana's a 20-year-old girl, and his son is 13. Like, come on. Like, we got some big age gaps and some age gaps that are way too close to be talking about having sex with somebody like that. And then she bridges over to Brandon.
I feel like also, like, Trisha was wild when she was younger. Yeah. And, like, I remember, like, early YouTube Trisha. Like, I feel like she's done with like that kind of stuff. Like she just wants a man to hold her and love her. And I'm just like, I feel it for Trisha. I'm pretty impartial to the situation because I don't care about Trisha and I don't care about the vlogs either. Right. So it's just like at this point I'm like, I don't care about y'all petty shit. Right. What I do care about is Brandon fucking dating a 17-year-old and possibly sleeping with her, because that is fucking disgusting.
Right. There's a vlog out of basically David bombarding Brandon on his date. Right. With his girlfriend, and he makes a comment to Brandon, makes a comment to his girlfriend, trying to make Brandon feel uncomfortable, and was like, is he hot? Is he cute? Would you fuck him? Have you fucked yet? And she's like, yeah, he's good, blah, blah, blah. And we were just talking about this. So after seeing like Trisha make that comment, I actually looked back on that video, and Brandon looked like he was shocked.
He was like, "Oh fuck!"
And, like he looked like kind of like he got caught in something, and I didn't.
I mean, we don't want to say that he did know,
right? Because we're just saying he looks guilty as fuck. That's all we're saying.
That's all we're saying.
we're not assuming. We're just giving an opinion.
I'm just saying, I don't want, like, somebody to be, like, coming down on us, being like, the fuck?
That would be so cool, though, if Brandon did comment. Even if it was negative, I'd be like, you watched our podcast or listened to it?
But yeah, and then like after Trisha said this, there was somebody found some sort of like profile for a job like some sort of job profile for the girl that kind of proves that at the time she was 17. She was a freshman in college, but on the profile it said that she graduated from high school a year early, so of course she would have been a freshman in college, but she was still 17. And in my opinion, he was like, what, 25, 24?
Yeah, Trisha said 24, but he maybe 24, 25. Yeah.
Okay. So in my opinion, if I was that old, I wouldn't be dating anybody under the age of 19, because I think that's just weird. But to each their own. But I don't think, like, because when you're close to turning 18,
right?
In a lot of places, they have laws called like the Romeo and Juliet law, where like if somebody's close to turning 18 and the other person's older than them, it's not considered like rape or anything like that. It's not statutory rape because they're almost old enough to do that anyways. But in California, there's not that law. And so I'm like, you have to obey that law, even if it's not really as, because I don't know how close she was to turning 18.
Right.
And I don't see it necessarily, I think it's creepy, but I don't think it's wrong for a 17-year-old and a 25-year-old to date in a non-sexual fashion. But at that age, who the fuck is not fucking? Because I remember I was pretty young when I started fucking my boyfriends and girlfriends. Right. So I mean, I don't think that they're not.
What makes it creepy, and I think you pointed this out to me, is the fact that they're bringing it up and nobody really talked about it.
Right. Like if they had said like, yeah, she's 17, but this is just a date.
Yeah.
I mean, he would have gotten backlash for it, but like at least he's like stating like this is not sexual, but in that vlog, instead of saying this is not sexual, David asked, is he gonna fuck you? And she's like, honestly, he could. I'm like, that's not okay. Well, she's a kid.
She said that he did.
No. She said that she could.
Yeah. He said, how is he in bed? And she's like, actually, pretty good, or something like that. He asked her if she did, and she actually said he's pretty good. Yeah. So that was that was not even an inference. That was a confirmation that they.
It's just it's not okay.
And another thing is that not only like. I totally agree with you. If it was us, we wouldn't mentally make that decision. But, there's a lot of responsibility here, with the profession that they're in.
Right. If you're in the public eye. When you're in the public eye, you are giving up some of your privacy. And that's just the reality of the situation. So, but when you're a YouTuber, especially if you're doing vlogs, you're giving up even more of that privacy. Because we had talked about this before we sat down to make this. But I had said that it's like the difference between like somebody like Angelina Jolie.
Right.
You're not going to meet Angelina Jolie at meetups. You're not watching videos of Angelina Jolie take tours around her house. You're not a part of her life. You watch her in a movie playing a character, and that is it.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, with like the Vlog Squad, they're saying, hey, come on an adventure with us. Come.
Like, this is our content to show.
This is our home. This is our life. I mean, of course, things are going to be acted up for life for the videos.
Right. But we're not saying that you shouldn't have privacy. We're just saying be knowledgeable of what you put out there.
Right. If you're going to sit here and be like, oh, come with me while I go on this date with an underage girl. Like, people are gonna be like, oh, how about that date with the underage girl? Like, and then after this all kind of like blew up after Trisha did that, this is supposedly, I haven't checked because like I said, I don't really have social media, but the Brandon kid like deleted all of his photos with that girl in it.
Yeah, he did. Oh, dude, it was so hard for me to find him on Instagram. Like, I was like looking for him. It took me a while. I was even looking on David's page, Jason's page. He's not there.
He's not linked in with any of his friends.
I don't know if he was previously on there.
He's gonna get kicked out of the vlog
but I'm pretty sure because since he hangs out with them for so much, I was gonna find something within the first couple of But whatever. I mean,
it's just guilty. It just makes them look guilty for deleting all of it. It does make them look guilty.
I think that's the creepiest part, is that it makes them look guilty. And like, I mean, there's a difference between like the whole controversy that happened with James Charles. There was people going to his house, like waiting, post up, because he was.
Wait, I don't know what you're talking about.
James Charles got a new home in New York. I think it's New York. If it's not New York, it's LA. It's wherever. And he got a new house, and he filmed the whole house. And somebody was dumb enough, smart enough to look it up on a listing. And they found out where he left. And so he got doxxed. Yeah, and they posted up, waited for him. So he couldn't really leave his house. There was people, it became a security problem.
That's scary. That's really scary.
So he was talking about, like, look, like, I will, if I'm out in public, I understand, like, you could say hey to me, I'm not, you could film me, whatever. I'm making that decision to step out in public and whatever. Right. But this is my house. Right. That's the separation between you make your life, or you make your living sharing your life, but there's certain things that are
there's certain boundaries,
right? Like, and that's Brandon having a girlfriend is official, and it's gonna be exclusive. People are gonna find out about it,
right?
But nobody's gonna find out like what time he jacks off in his bathroom. We're not talking about that, right? Like, you know what I mean? So that's why it's just. There's a difference, and I don't want people to feel like by us saying, by you being famous, that gives people the opportunity to say and do what they want, because people are assholes. But you have to think about like the decisions that you make, because people do know of you, and if you're trying to get clout for the work that you're putting out, don't get mad when someone finds out something. But in this case, nobody knew. Nobody really was. Nobody knew. In my from what I heard, nobody knew.
Because Trisha did mention that like people would comment on his posts occasionally. Random people would find out occasionally and comment on like his Instagram or whatever videos or whatever he posts, right? And that David would call him and be like, "Oh, delete these comments and stuff like that." So some people were aware of it, but like most people didn't, because who the fuck is searching up this girl's fucking job listing information? Like, nobody. Yeah. And that's really, like, as far as I know, that's really the only proof that we have that she was 17 at the time, was that job listing. And so it's just like, guys, like, you should have addressed it on your own terms, because like, in my opinion, if we ever became YouTube celebrities, if I knew there was a controversy afoot that could possibly happen, I would address it on my own terms. I wouldn't wait for somebody to call me out on it.
I wouldn't, but at the same time, I'm also like this like mom boss ass bitch vibe is coming through me, and I'm like, my business is my business, right? I actually really don't have to tell you. I mean, so that's why I'm kind of like looking at Trish like, I get that you're upset, I get that this is something that you feel uncomfortable about, but this is on Brandon. If people found out, it should not come from you. It should come from other people.
It could have fucking come from her fucking when it happened, when she was still 16 or 17, and they were dating, and she was uncomfortable with it, but she didn't think to say anything about it until after she was done dating her boyfriend. Like,
that's what makes it worse, though.
That's like, it's like, Trisha, like, what the fuck? Like, where the fuck are your morals here? Because you're sitting here.
You're talking about something that was like before. That's like if someone came up. I mean, it's pretty clear. There's really no analogy that you can make, but if something happens, if you don't bring it up, then after that, I really truly feel like it's none of your fucking business anymore. Like, it doesn't affect you.
Because she's 18 now. Now she's 18. So...
I mean, now she's 18, and, like, I'm not trying to, like, take a side, but they're still together.
Are they?
Yeah, they're still together. Well, I mean, probably after this bullshit, maybe not. But before, they were still in a relationship.
I'm just like, why... So why act so high and mighty about, like... Not necessarily that she's acting high and mighty, but why, like, bring it up now? Yeah. Like, why did she even do that?
Is she probably... that wasn't her intention.
She was probably just doing that to be petty.
Yeah, I don't...
Girls
Trisha.
are petty. Girls are the pettiest motherfuckers ever.
Petty, but I feel like she's so petty. She doesn't know when she's being petty. Does that make sense? Like, she's just letting things things spill out. Of her. Right.
Because she's premeditated. She's making these videos when she... Okay, I am not a fan of people that post people that post content on the internet that are like raw, emotional filled videos.
That's draining.
It's too much. It's draining to watch.
If I had to watch Laura Lee every week,
I'd be like, that's not really emotionally draining. That was just kind of funny to watch. But anyways, I don't think that's appropriate. No, like, you can make that video if you want to for yourself, because for a lot of people though that make videos, eventually it becomes therapeutic for them because you're sitting there talking about your problems, and when you put your problems into words, you typically are able to fucking solve them better. But like, you can't. I don't think it's okay to put all that, because sometimes when you're upset about things, you say things you don't mean. Exactly. And I don't think
there's a diary. There's a
write
pen,
it down.
Right. Or. I mean, you shouldn't be doing this if you work in this industry, but if you need to talk it out, it's okay to talk to yourself. Yeah. I talk to myself all the fucking time.
I mean it's still fine to, like, record it, because, like, I can see how that could be beneficial therapeutically, because, like, I'm really into psychology. Anyways, so if you talk it out to a camera like you're making a video or whatever, like you're used to, that's therapeutic for you. And then you can, like, take that and watch it back and see where you're wrong, see where you can fix things, and see what will make you feel better about it. Mm-hmm. And so instead of making it a drama thing, because now Trisha's getting all this hate and stuff, which is just going to make her feel worse.
Knows it.
She knows it. She was like, I'm going to get a bunch of hate.
This wasn't like something she was like, you know what? I wasn't thinking. You were thinking. Right. You were, like, already knowing in your mind what this is going to create. But my advice to her, I would have recorded this and waited like 2 weeks and recorded where she's at. She's like, you know what? I feel better. I think I made a right decision. I'm not. And I would have cut clips of just their relationship, just things that are her business, and would have been like, you know, I filmed this 2 weeks ago, and I feel better. You know, I feel like a better person.
I feel like that her saying that, like, the thing about Brandon, just makes her look bad.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know. It just bugs me.
Brandon's probably like, this fucking bitch. Like, she just blacklisted herself. She just talked about David Dobrik and Brandon and basically, Jason Ash. So we're talking about 3 people from the Vlog Squad. And I mean, I'm not trying to make this like, she talked about the cool kids and now the cool kids. It's what she knows. She knows she's talking about these people. But I mean, these people were her friends.
I don't think Trish has ever been the kind of person to where she would care that she's blacklisted. Because I'm not saying this in like a mean way, but Trish is the kind of person that you can tell is really damaged, and I don't know what damaged her. You know, I'm not gonna make.
I don't think she cares about the what's the word? The aftermath, I guess.
Repercussions.
Yeah. The aftermath of everything that she says, but I know she cares, because if she didn't care, she wouldn't say like 3 or 4 times. Like, and I know the Vlog Squad. Well, honey, yeah, of course they will. Like, why?
I think she just cares that she might be.
I think she cares that people will judge her
and losing subscribers. Excuse me.
And I think she genuinely is sad because she made a comment and said that Jason is a good guy. It's just they can't be involved romantically. So it's like she kind of lost a friend.
Right.
You know, there's some people that just find a best friend, and unfortunately they fucked and made things complicated, and now they feel like they have to be in a relationship, and then they end up losing a friendship.
Song.
Huh?
The Aloe Levine song.
Which one?
Complicated.
I don't even want to talk about him. Did you watch the Super Bowl halftime?
Yes, I did.
That was the worst.
Bro, let me tell you something.
The worst halftime show.
I actually didn't finish watching it because I was watching it on YouTube, and in the middle of me watching it, they took it down. I was like, what?
Really? Oh
yes,
my God.
Right in the middle of me watching it. I got like...
when they had that SpongeBob scene and then just switched it over to Travis Scott, I was so pissed.
Yeah.
I was like, wasn't Adam Levine supposed to sing or cover that whole...
Yeah, I thought that was, like, the thing.
Yeah. So everybody was like, that's kind of disrespectful since the
so,
guy had passed
like,
away.
Yeah, it would have been, like, so amazing. And honestly...
God, what was his name?
I really love SpongeBob, and I probably would have cried. His name's, I think
Is it Steven?
It's Steve something.
It starts with the H, right?
I can't remember.
Shit.
Just look at SpongeBob creator.
Steven Hillenburg.
Hillenburg, yeah, that's his last name. I would have fucking cried at that. I'd be like,
what? That would have been so good. I would have been like, this halftime show is so lit. But no, Adam Levine
You know what? I would have... yeah, he sounded sick. Adam Levine sounded sick.
Everybody sucked. The only person I was excited to see was Cardi B.
I didn't even see Cardi B. They took it down.
Sorry.
But,
yeah, they should have had Rihanna, but Rihanna refused. Rihanna would have made it, like, iconic.
Right.
Like, somebody that's supposed to take it. Not to say that Maroon 5 isn't iconic. I do like some of their songs.
I like Maroon 5. I just think it's pretty hot.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Levine is cute and everything, and I like Maroon 5, but Maroon 5 as a band has nostalgia in their songs, not really in a band. And somebody like Rihanna, Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, the reason why they're Cardi B, the reason why they're talked about so much is because of their performance and their presence.
Yeah.
Okay, Maroon 5, this is the halftime show. Why does this look like a $70 concert ticket? Do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't... I'm like, what the
You know what they should have done?
What?
This would have been my dream.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, like, just, like, playing the cartoon and then, like, Adam Levine, like, singing the Sweet Victory.
Yeah.
Which didn't happen, and it should have.
Right.
Would have been perfect. You remember those not Disneyland, excuse me, the Nickelodeon Resort?
Oh, yeah.
And you remember how they had, like, those giant, like, costumes, those foam costumes for SpongeBob?
Yeah.
If they had come out with, like, a SpongeBob band with, like, Squidward and SpongeBob and Patrick and, like, Mr. Krabs and Sandy, and they all started singing Sweet Victory, I would have died!
That sounds just like that show that came out where they have the Masked Singer.
The Masked Singer.
Yeah, it's a show where they have the celebrities that aren't necessarily singers sing a song with an outfit on, and the audience and the judges have to guess who the famous person is.
But I would have lived for that moment because
I would have shut it off. Like, I would have been like,
no, when I was a kid, I wanted to, because, like, okay, right. So, like, when, like, you would go to, like Chuck E. Cheese and stuff like that, like, those people in the costumes always freaked me out, because even when I was a really young kid, I knew that's a person in a costume. I don't know who the fuck that is.
Right.
But I always wanted to go to Disneyland Resort because, like, not Disneyland, the Nickelodeon Resort. I don't know why I keep saying Disneyland. Right. The Nickelodeon Resort, which is because of fucking SpongeBob.
I mean, I definitely, at that time, I agree with you. I definitely would have went. I mean, because everything, like, the resort
was cool.
Right, but
that's nostalgic.
Honestly, what they have, I'm just going to be honest with you. I was so not into the Super Bowl this year. Like,
honestly, I'm never into the Super Bowl because the only sport I even enjoy is baseball, and I won't care about baseball unless I'm there in the stadium. Yeah.
I got my teams. But my teams are my teams for a reason. Like, they're not very, what's the word? They're not very graceful. Like, San Francisco 49ers, they go hard. And it's almost like wrestling and football put together. So that's why I'm just like, like watching it.
It's kind of sexy. That's why you like them. Okay, I understand now.
Exposed. I'm exposed. But yeah, it's just, I like football with my teams. Mm-hmm. But other than that, like, I don't give a fuck that this is the 9th or 6th time that New England Patriots has won the Super Bowl. It makes me not want them to win.
I was a kid. My father did not watch football, but every year he'd watch the Super Bowl, and he'd throw like a little tiny like Super Bowl party where it was just like a few people. Yeah. And I would sit there and I would
want to kill yourself.
Essentially, I would always sit like right because we would put down like we would have a table in the living room with a bunch of snacks on it.
Yeah.
And I'd sit next to the snack table in my chair, and then I would draw during the Super Bowl, and watch the ads and just sit there eating while I was drawing because I was like, I do not give two fucks about this.
Essentially what I do is just watch the ads and the halftime. But this year I unfortunately had to work at a job that I don't work at anymore because I quit. And I came in a little bit with the halftime, got pissed off, and then walked away, and then watched the last season of The Fosters. So. On Netflix.
I've never seen The Fosters.
It's good. It's really good. You'd like it. But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
That is it.
For right now, we'll come back. Well, we decided to come back. Do you want to plug in anything?
I don't have any social media accounts. I just said that like 3 times
in
the podcast.
You said you had Twitter, but
I don't. Oh, I don't know.
Do you have Tumblr or something?
I'm not trash.
No. Sorry. I mean, I don't have a Tumblr.
I mean, I did have Tumblr, but then they took away all the porn, so what's the
trash, point? But you can follow me at Jameis_7 on Twitter. You can follow me at Jameis_ on Netflix. Oh my god. On my Instagram.
Yeah, I don't even have
on Facebook. Yeah, I don't want you to follow me.
I literally don't have any social media on my phone except for Facebook. I uninstalled Twitter because
you should get some social media now.
Why?
So that people can follow you, because you might have some people that like you. Finally.
You're a fucking dick.
No, you should.
With that being said, I think we're done here.
Right. I mean, like, you just hear like just scrap of us fighting throughout the microphone. But no, yeah, you definitely check us out. We're gonna try to get this on
YouTube.
Definitely on YouTube. We're gonna be on YouTube. You're probably listening to it on YouTube, and we're gonna try to get it on Spotify.
If you want to get in contact with me, we'll put our YouTube email.
Yeah.
In the description.
Yeah.
And you can talk to me via the email. There
right.
you go, motherfucker. Right. You won't want to talk to me anyways. I can't spell. Every message I send to you will be misspelled. Right. I'm dyslexic.
Yeah. The message that you get will be encrypted in European or Egyptian. I meant Egyptian. I'm sorry.
I didn't think European.
When you have one person that can't spell and the other person that can't speak, it just doesn't work out very well.
Anyways.
But
and then
thank you for listening to On Blast.
Come back next time.
Or not. Just kidding though.
Please don't.
Alright, let me stop this. I don't know how long it is, but
it's about an hour.